So right now, while the Democratic Party is trying to get working people to vote for Hillary Rodham Clinton, the Democratic president is trying to pass the TPP, which is crushing to workers, just like NAFTA. It's crushing, not good. It's bad for the climate. It's bad for poor people. It's bad for sick people. It's bad for workers. The TPP usurps your sovereignty. So it's horrible. Right now, you wonder why half the country doesn't vote? It's because that's by design. They don't want you to vote. They don't want you to be interested. They don't want you to feel like you have a choice. They want you to feel powerless, so you don't participate. They love it. That's why I don't even want third parties. They got to shut third parties. The last thing they want is people getting informed and involved. It makes it much harder. The two parties, they all agree on everything. They all agree on war. They all agree on the TPP. They all agree on trade. They all agree on Wall Street. They all agree on fracking. They all agree on pipelines. The two parties, they agree on everything, right? And that's why they don't want third party. Right now, you wonder why half the country isn't voting? That's by design. And here is a representative from Ohio, Marcy Kaptur. I don't know how you say her name. And she's talking about the TPP on the House floor, and here's what she has to say.
Thank you. Madam Speaker, I rise today to call on Congress to rule out an end-of-the-year lame duck end-run vote on the Trans-Pacific Partnership. No other time in the Congress is less accountable to the people who entrust us to represent their interests than the period between election and the swearing in of a new Congress in January. That's why it's called lame duck. Retiring members or those who lost elections still have a say. And whose interests are they more likely to represent? Sometimes corporate interests weigh in with tantalizing offers of high-dollar remuneration on their retirement. Or for those fresh off an election, a lame duck can present pressures from donors who funded their campaigns. In 2000, I watched this scenario play out to pass when the permanent normal trade relations with China unfortunately passed. For China's PNTR vote, look at Texas. The president secured at least 5 member votes by promising an environmental cleanup of a military factory, a study on job losses due to imports, and finalized an EPA study for a pipeline. And what happened to those promises? Nothing.
So what she's saying is the last time we passed this kind of crazy trade stuff in a lame duck was in 2000 when we normalized trade with China. And in order to have that passed, the president have to go make deals with some of the representatives in Texas. And he offered them all those things. And what happened to those things? They never happened. That's what she's saying.
Hey, I think we got to give a quick shout out here. There are 4 of us watching C-SPAN right now, so we did probably triple their numbers. You're welcome, C-SPAN.
In fact, the factory closed with the district losing 5,000 jobs. Mr. Speaker, Madam Speaker, we've been told time and again that free trade deals create jobs, but they outsource our jobs instead. Americans deserve a vote from accountable elected representatives. No lame duck TPP vote. I yield back my remaining time.
Nice
Marcy,
work.
I'm in love with you.
Yeah, right? She nailed it.
Yes, she did. Way to go. Boy, is she gonna have she's gonna be unpopular at the Democratic barbecue. I'll tell you that, because the Democrats like the TPP. They like to be in bed with big business, with Wall Street. They're not. There's no 2 parties left in America. There's one party rule, a money party, and we know this. And God bless Marcy Kaptur for saying that stuff. And you know, all the people screaming out there, you have to vote for Hillary Rodham Clinton. You're wrong. Shame on you. Shame on you for voting for more war. Shame on you for voting for the TPP. Shame on you for selling out your own country. Shame on you for not standing up to the neoliberals and Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton. Shame on you for not doing that.
She won't be totally alone at the barbecue, Jimmy. She'll be able to hang out with a fellow Ohioan, Dennis Kucinich, so she won't be totally alone.
Well, you know, they took his seat away. Dennis Kucinich.
Right. But he's still around. He's still
they
doing his thing.
redistricted, so that Dennis Kucinich, his district, just gone.
Yeah.
Jimmy, could you put her image back up there on the screen? Okay, because I just want to say this was so refreshing, because I told you that I was listening to NPR.
Yes.
And how upset I was because they posed the little article that had to do with a local businessman had concerns that TPP wouldn't be passing because he wouldn't be able to expand his Mexican food business. And so it was about, could Taco Bell go across, the waters and go and start. He said that, in short, he wasn't able to expand his businesses if TPP. How would I be able to do business in the other part of the world if TPP isn't passed? And it was like I was sitting there screaming, thinking to myself,
Where was this? You were seeing this?
NPR.
This was on the nice, polite Republicans network.
Yes, and the network that they didn't want to do any kind of political news, and all they're doing is giving us propaganda about the TPP.
Oh, NPR.
That's all NPR is doing.
They're just corporate propaganda. NPR.
And they were. I was supposed to be sympathetic with this Taco Bell businessman that he wasn't going to be able to expand his business. I don't know. How about Taco Bell allows somebody to be able to live life without living in poverty?
Right. How about, you mean somebody who works for them? How about you let the people over in China make their own tacos? How about that? Is that okay? Can people in Sri Lanka make their own tacos, or do we have to have the Taco Bell make tacos for everybody?
Well, he was making the case too. How was he going to be able to buy equipment and get it imported in? And I was like, why are you buying any kind of equipment outside of the United States? Why are you allowed to do that in the first place?
Yeah. So again, the corporate coup of our government is complete.